Good afternoon, Coach Thomsen.
Hey, Chris, how you doing?
Good. I was wondering, how has the team handled just a switch of circumstances and kind of dealing with everything since Friday's news came about?
I think they've handled it great. The practice that we had on Saturday and then Sunday's practice, I think they've done a great job, shown a very mature approach. I think they, have a really great focus right now, and we have a lot of great kids in our program, so wasn't surprised by their response. I think they're motivated and excited to get back on the practice field Tuesday.
Coach Norvell said that during practice yesterday, you guys were actually able to communicate. He could communicate with the coaches. What was that like? How did that operation work?
Austin did a great job of getting all that set up, just from a technology standpoint, and literally coach was. He was positioned right behind the offense in some instances, maybe some other drills. We're able to get his eyes into any drill that he wants to be in. So in a lot of ways, it was like having him out there, and that probably would have been something that was a little bit of a surprise a year ago. But with the way we've learned to operate on Zoom and the different things that we've been able to do, it's just another step in trying to let technology help you operate.
Hey, Coach, just wondering, in terms of the way you guys had been running your staff and team meetings up until this point, had you been doing a lot of that stuff on Zoom already, so that what's happening right now with Coach Norvell isn't that much of a change?
It's a great question. It really isn't much of a change. All spring, we operated that way with the team, and then even getting back in June, you still could not meet with the players in person, just because everything was so new and the rules that were in place. So I think for the players and us as coaches, it's really not a big deal at all. It's just kind of just roll with it and go, and I think it's going really smooth.
Coach Norvell has talked a good bit about the number of guys on staff who have head coaching experience in some capacity, the number of guys who have experience as offensive coordinator. When you're going through something like this, how much does something like that help, just having so many guys who kind of can step up and have experience in those roles?
Yeah, I think it helps a lot. It helps me personally because I've been in this situation, and a lot of the other guys on staff, like you said, have either been head coaches or coordinators. So it's really not that big of a transition for any of us, and we really all kind of expected things like this going into this season. We knew that things like this would probably happen, and we had talked about it, prepared for it. So it's really just a matter of now just implementing the plan and going forward.
Coach, with you being the acting head coach, is it your job to do your best Mike Norvell impersonation here up until the game, or do you have to be your own man?
I don't think I could do that even if I tried, but I, it's just, everybody's got their own personality and the way they approach things. And the great thing with this week is with the technology again and the opportunities that we have with Zoom, coach is really still in front of the team. Yesterday he ran the staff meeting and the team meeting virtually. So his voice, his influence is still the key thing out in front. My job is to, just fill in the gaps where I need to and work with the staff like we always do and do the best job we can of getting our guys ready to play and play at a high level. That's the bottom line.
Hey, Chris, you said everybody has their own personality and how they approach things. So what's your personality, and how does that kind of differ from the way Coach Norvell approaches things?
I think personality-wise, coach is probably more a little bit more vocal than I am as a leader. But the thing that's the same is the same thought process, the same philosophical ideas in terms of, you know, how you want your team to operate, how you want them to approach practice, how you want them to approach game day, how you want them to go out and compete in a game. All those things are things that he and I have been together in a lot of different tough ball games, tough situations that we both understand how we want the guys to operate. That's the most important thing. It's not necessarily the personalities. It's the approach and what you get, you know, from the players. And again, his voice is going to be, you know, prevalent all throughout the week with these guys. And you know, at the end of the day, we have a lot of veteran players, man. And that's what I've been so impressed with being here at Florida State in the short time that I've been here is we have a lot of veteran players. We have a lot of really high character people on this team. And so as a coach, that's what excites you, whether you're assistant, whether you're head coach, whatever it is. And, you know, I think the main thing is just that the players understand the situation and that they go out and compete and perform. And that's what that's really what I'm most excited about this week is to see those guys go out and compete at a high level.
Hey, Coach. You mentioned how you guys had a plan in place in case this would happen, and you kind of assumed it would. But when Coach said that he called you guys virtually and he said, "Hey, you know, I've tested positive," did it kind of take you back for a minute? Because even though you planned for it, I mean, this is reality now. And has the transition been as smooth as you guys maybe planned for?
I really think it has. I think it's actually been a little bit smoother. It surprised me for maybe 1 second when he called me. He actually called me on the phone Saturday morning and said, "Hey, probably won't be there at practice." That was a little bit of a surprise, but the way 2020 goes, I think we all you know, have learned to expect those type of things. So, but again, the players have just when you get out on the practice field as a coach, that's kind of your peaceful time, and everything out there is you get around the kids and you remember this is what it's about. And these guys are, you know, the way our guys have responded is what's so encouraging to me. I'm really excited, you know, about the week and the things that I think we can accomplish.
Coach, how will Saturday's communication be different with you being on sideline, not in the box, Tony probably being an extra set of eyes for you guys, and Dillingham handling more of the play calling than normal with Mike being sidelined?
You know, the difference, you know, the great thing about Tony is he coached the tight ends at Memphis last year. So he's got this set of eyes, is very familiar with what the tight end role is. And then, you know, with the big picture of the offense of what we're trying to get accomplished up there. So, you know, that part of the communication will be smooth. He and Coach Dillingham have worked together, obviously with Coach Norvell. So I really don't see anything in that part of what we're doing on Saturday that'll be really any type of big change, to be honest. I'm excited about you know, Tony getting that role.
And going back to practice, you know, we've all been out there before and seen Coach Norvell and the energy he brings to practice. Was that part of it different? Not just having his voice and seeing him all over the field, and then is there a balance between maybe other coaches trying to fill that void versus doing something that's out of the ordinary for them?
You know, I don't think so, because I think you know, Coach Fuller is obviously the leader of the defense, and they're used to his voice and how he does things. And Coach Dillingham does a great job leading the offense. Obviously, Coach Norvell's involved in all that, and you know, JP with the special teams. I mean, I think our players are comfortable with all those voices and what's transpiring out there. And obviously, Coach brings a lot of juice to the practice. There's no question about that. But you know, what I sensed last night is in practice is that, hey, you know, Coach Norvell, that he's not out here. That energy's not out here. Let's, you know, as a group of players, let's step up and fill that void. And I think these guys are, you know, I'm excited to get back on the practice field tomorrow morning, just to get out there and continue that flow and continue the work week. And again, Coach's voice is going to be there. He's figured out a way to get his voice at practice, trust me. And he might not be physically running around, but his voice will be there. So it'll be as close to normal as possible. And again, the bottom line is just get these guys ready to go on Saturday. Get them ready to play at the highest level they can play. And and we'll be feeling our way through some of that as we go through the week. But I think we're all getting kind of used to feeling our way through situations. And man, it's exciting. It's an exciting challenge, really.
Go back to
Hey, Chris, you've been a head coach before, but this is going to be different Saturday. I mean, you're going to be the head coach of the Seminoles going at Miami in a game day game. What's that going to be like?
It's going to be exciting. I've been a part of some really, really great rivalry games as a coach. So, growing up in Texas, following Florida State, being a huge fan of Coach Bowden, Coach Gladden actually used to come out to Texas and recruit, and he would come clinic us on some different things. So I've got kind of a little bit of an insider's feel of some of the old, rivalry games with Florida State, Miami, just watching it from afar. And I'm really excited to be a part of that. I can't wait to, to feel the energy of that game and the competitiveness of that game. And again, being in some of those in different conferences, different leagues, and getting to experience that in this league, I'm really looking forward to that.
last question. We'll go back to Adlon.
Coach, you mentioned, this virtual setup Mike's going to have at home. He can see everything. I mean, will the film show him everything he needs to see, or will your voice and what you're seeing really be an important part of him being able to prepare?
Are you talking about in the game planning right now, or what?
I guess just in general. I mean, if with everything being so, I guess, streamlined, and he can see everything, and being able to witness all that from his house. I mean, is that going to be enough, or will your voice still be a very important part? You think of, just being a coach. Being on the field, seeing the look in their eyes. He won't be able to see the way they react when they have a bad rep, but you will. How important will it be for you to share your opinion on how you see these guys performing, I guess, in his absence?
Are you're just referring to practice more than anything?
Yeah.
That's where practice for me. I'll be coaching the tight ends. I'll be doing what I normally do. And again, we've got great leadership with not only our coordinators but our position coaches. So, and again, coach will be able to virtually see all this stuff, but and he'll be able to make corrections in practice. Really with those, so I don't see practice operating a lot differently just because of the leadership we have at each position. With each position coach, I don't think it'll operate a whole lot differently.
All right. Thank you, Coach.
All right, we're going to wrap up today with Adam Fuller. He does have meetings starting at 1. So